Welcome to the ABCs of Preschool, the show that covers all things from parenting to childcare. And we're going to get real about how not just to survive, but thrive in the early years. I'm your host, Miss Amber. I'm a mom of 5 and early childhood expert with over 25 years in the industry. Whether you're a parent, an educator, or just curious about early childhood education, this podcast is for you. Each week, we're going to dive into what life looks like raising little ones, with special guests, industry experts, and personal stories that will leave you inspired and empowered. Get ready to explore, imagine, and discover the beautifully messy that comes with these magical years. Buckle up, because thriving during the early years is a wild and rewarding ride. Welcome to the ABCs, a preschool podcast. I'm your host, Miss Amber. Thank you for joining me today. As I record this podcast, it is just a beautiful, gorgeous day here in Northern California. Really grateful I've lived in California my entire life. And I love when spring seems really short here in Cali. Like maybe it's just a few days before it gets really hot. And where I live in Northern California, it gets really warm, but I am not complaining. I love it. Yesterday was Mother's Day. And it was one of my favorite Mother's Days ever. And I'm on the other end. A lot of you listeners may be just beginning your family. You have little ones. I cannot believe it, but my youngest is almost 18 and graduating high school in just a few weeks. And yesterday, it was just so nice to sit back, and my kids are adults, young adults now. And it was just a really sweet day. I felt very loved, and it's very bittersweet because it is so true that time flies by. And I cannot believe I'm coming to the end. We will always be parents. I'll always be a mama, but I think I'm kind of coming to the end of my parenting journey in a sense. When our kids come to high school or get to high school, become juniors and seniors, really my philosophy has been just to really start letting them fly and step back and away. And they'll come to you when they want advice. So I've switched gears from parenting and telling my kids what to do every day, all day long, to really just being their cheerleaders and there to listen. And it's an incredible transition and one that I absolutely adore and love. And it is bittersweet. I am a little emotional because my baby, I cannot believe she will be 18. But as we head into summer, today's episode is all about summer activities and how to keep your little ones entertained during the summer. Now, some of you mamas and parents may have summer camps all lined up for your little ones. Let me back up a bit. I remember summertime, I typically only worked really, really part-time with my schools. I was a really small school for a really long time. So when my kids were little, my preschools, we would do the regular year was considered August through May. And then the June and July, I like to call my preschool, like we call it summer camp. And it's really fun because every week is a new theme, and we do camping week or under the sea week. It's just really, really fun. We try to make those kids that go year round, make it really special for the summer. So if you are a parent, if you're a mama, if you're a dad, that summer is coming, it's around the corner, and you're like, yay, you're just so excited because you're going to stay home with your kiddos or you're going to work from home. Maybe your little ones are not in a summer camp or not in a preschool program. So what do you do with your little ones? If you were like me, I would get so excited for summer, and it would be my preschool would just be open 3 days a week and just half day a week. So I was so excited. Like all the schedules went out the window. Oh, I just had all these like glorious plans of like me as like home Betty Crocker. Like it was just going to be magical for summer. Then a week into summer, I would be pulling my hair out and I would be like, what am I going to do with these kids? little ones and young kids are so used to a schedule and a routine. And when that goes out the window, they get squirrely, right? They get bored. They can start acting out. So I'm going to give you just 3 tips on today's episodes of how to have a really fun summer with your littles and not feel so overwhelmed, but you're doing things with your little ones. You still have that flexibility, but just here's some 3 tips that I learned over the years. Because I know we go into it really excited. We go into summer with high hopes and so excited. We get to spend all this quality time, which is amazing. But then by week 1 or 2, we're exhausted and we don't know what to do with them. So my first tip for fun activities and to make summertime really great is come up with some sort of routine. Now, during the school year, when you're managing work and preschool and, maybe they have sports or little after school activities, during the school year, it could be chaotic, it can be stressful, and it can be so rigid, it's hard to keep up. So I think for summer, you want to have a balance. I think the better summers I had a balance. So you want that flexibility. You want to feel like you're not required to just do so many things. You want to have that fun, free flowing summer. But I think it's really important to also have a routine. And the routine could be really simple. Maybe you just create a summer calendar and it's not back to back to back activities, but I would suggest that every day, at least one thing, you have an activity one time a day. And let me just tell you an example that's really easy. So you could just come up with a summer calendar and maybe every day of the week you do something different. So for example, maybe on Mondays, you guys go to the library. You take a trip to the library. On Tuesday, maybe that's your park day and you take the kids to the park. Maybe on Wednesday, it's your walking day. You guys go find a little fun walking trail and they get to go and you bring a little bag with you and they get to go on a nature walk. Maybe Thursday, because I think it's important for breaks and for self-love and self-care, you can do a play date swap. If you have really good friends, or maybe you are blessed enough to have a grandma nearby, grandpa nearby, or aunts or cousins, you have family, maybe get your family involved. I think it's really important when you are running like just full time with your kiddos to get a little bit of a break and a rest for you. So then you can be the best version of a parent that you want to be. So I always like the idea of a play date swap. So maybe one day your kids are going over to a friend's house or grandma and grandpa's house. And the next day the next week, maybe you have your friend's kids. So a play day swap during the week is really great in so many ways because it's socialization for your little ones. It's them practicing how to be dropped off and that they know that you're coming back. It's a break for you. I think it's awesome. So a play date swap, or my daughter, for the longest time, my kids had a grandma day. One day a week, they would go to grandma's house and they loved it. And it's so special now because my kids are adults and they are now babysitting and taking care of their grandma because she's not doing the greatest now health wise. So it's a really important thing to be involved with family, I think. So, and then maybe on a Friday, it's pajama day, pajama popcorn movie day. You don't have to go anywhere. Another tip of mine is to set up a space in your home. And most everybody, you probably have a play area. There's a place in your home where your little ones can go play and they're safe on their own. They have plenty of activities to do that are self-directed. So you can clean the house or cook dinner. So creative corner. Maybe you guys come up with a creative corner at your house or a little space in your house where there's art projects, there's lots of different activities, maybe like little stickers they can put. Oh, kids love stickers. Let me tell you, they love to peel the stickers. It's really great for small motor skills, but like they have art they can do. There's puzzles, there's books. It's just their safe space where they can go and you can say, hey, go to your creative corner and make me something. Can you make me something or make grandma something? I think it's just a really great place. Maybe there's a sensory bin or a bucket that they can play with. And there's when you guys go on your nature walk, you put it all in a bucket and then they can play with that in their creative corner. So tip number 1 is routine. Come up with some sort of routine. Kids love repetition. They like to know what's coming next. So maybe, all week long, there's one thing you guys do. Maybe one of the days is run errand day. And who doesn't like to go to Target, right? Like my kids, when they were little, loved to go to Target because it was routine that I'd buy them popcorn and they'd eat their popcorn as they went through Target. So, just setting up, and it also gets you out of the house every day. You just kind of get out of the house in some way, which is just good for everybody's mental well-being. My second tip is do a play date swap or a grandma day, or there's just a day, or if you do not have family nearby, or if you don't really have close friends that have young kids, maybe you look and budget in hiring a babysitter that just comes a few hours every week. Comes a few hours, they get to come over, they get to play with your little ones, and then you just get that little break, whether it's you need to go run errands, you need to go grocery shopping, maybe you want to go get a pedicure, whatever it is, you get that break. And my third tip is really creating a safe, creative space in your home where your kids can go on their own. Your little ones can go on their own. They're safe. They can be creative. They can color. They can create art projects, science projects. There's hands-on fun activities they can do on their own. So you can also do the household things that you need to do. So those are just some tips for you because summer is coming. And I know we all go into summer just so excited, more quality time with their kiddos. And then by week 2, we feel burnt out. So routines help that, getting out of your house really helps that. Being in nature, swapping childcare with a friend or grandma day, and setting up a really cool, fun spot for them that they take ownership in your house is also, okay, here's one more. I think it's really great for little ones to have chores and responsibilities. And of course, they're not going to do things great. And that's the point. But maybe you guys create a reward chart for the summer, and every time they help you unload the dishwasher or wipe down the kitchen table, they get a prize. And at the end of the week, they get to go somewhere special. So letting our kids be involved in our house, in our home, and giving them responsibility really is a great thing. They love it. So happy summer, everybody. We're getting ready for summer. It's going to be fun, but I know it could also be stressful at times. So those are some 3 tips for some fun activities to do with your little ones, and just 3 tips on having a successful summer. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for joining me at the ABCs of Preschool, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to hear this podcast. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss the next episode. For more information on how to work with me, Miss Amber, visit me at thelovingstartway.com or follow me on Insta at thelovingstartway.